Welcome, Spicy Lady. When a Spicy Lady-Sigma faces disrespect, she never wastes her energy on loud arguments, drama, or petty comebacks. She knows her worth, she values her time, and she protects her peace above all else. When someone crosses her line, her reaction is swift, quiet, and unforgettable. Most people fight to win confrontations. A Spicy Lady-Sigma fights only for self-respect. She sets firm boundaries without lifting a finger, without raising her voice, and without begging for validation. Today we break down 10 sharp, deliberate, powerful responses Spicy Lady-Sigmas use to shut down disrespect effortlessly. These lines don't chase attention, they command it. She's not here to prove a point, change minds, or get revenge. She simply makes one thing crystal clear. Her space, her peace, and her respect are non-negotiable. No games, no drama, no compromise. Let's get started. Number 1. You thought I'd care, didn't you? This line is pure icy precision. The perfect verbal checkmate against arrogance and petty provocation. That it's not a question. It's a calm, confident statement that she's letting them know their little attempt to rattle her didn't just fail. It was anticipated, dissected, and dismissed before it even landed. Her indifference is not weakness. It's a deliberate, powerful shield. While others rush to clap back and prove their strength, she displays true strength by remaining completely unmoved. Their jabs, their opinions, and their attempts to get a reaction don't even register on her radar. This response acts like a mirror, reflecting their insecurities straight back at them. They came looking for a reaction, expecting to shake her confidence, and they got absolutely nothing. Calm, unshaken, and self-assured, she shifts the entire power dynamic in a single breath. This isn't about putting someone down. It's about drawing an unbreakable line. My worth doesn't bend to your attempts to provoke me. Number 2. You'll learn eventually, if not from me then from life. This short statement carries unmatched quiet weight that a Spicy Lady-Sigma never wastes time trying to educate people who refuse to listen. Instead of arguing, she hands them over to life, the harshest, most unforgiving teacher of all. Delivered with calm certainty and cool detachment, this line reveals she's already seen their pattern, already knows how this story ends, and has already moved on to bigger things. She doesn't even need to call them wrong. She simply states the truth. Lessons always land eventually. Whether people choose to learn them now or suffer the consequences later, that there's a quiet, ominous wisdom here. Life doesn't spare anyone from their mistakes, and she knows it. They may walk away feeling like they won the argument, but her words will linger in the back of their mind, planting seeds of doubt. Deep down, they know she's right, and that's what makes this response so powerful. Number 3. I don't rise to bait. I'm already above it. This is a masterclass in quiet superiority. With zero effort, she shuts down petty drama and manipulative attempts to pull her into conflict. She doesn't just refuse the bait, she floats completely above it. When she says this, she's making it clear. Her mindset, her standards, her peace, and her energy operate on a higher level they cannot access. Their petty games, their cheap provocations, and their attempts to drag her down are simply beneath her. She doesn't defend herself. She doesn't explain herself. She simply states a fact. While they stand there holding useless bait, desperate for a reaction, she's already miles ahead, focused on her own growth, her own path, and her own peace. This line leaves them feeling small, foolish, and completely outmatched, without her ever uttering an aggressive word. Number 4. If that's all you have to say, I'll find someone worth my time. This response ends disrespectful conversations instantly, with cool, unapologetic dismissal. Without anger, without annoyance, without drama, she lets them know plainly. They lack the substance, maturity, and depth to hold her attention. This hits harder than any argument because it targets their ego quietly. She's not just saying they're rude. She's saying they're boring, empty, and not worth her valuable time. Her time, energy, and attention are precious, and she never wastes them on people who show up with nothing but negativity and disrespect. By the time she finishes speaking, she's already mentally checked out, already moved on to better conversations, better people, and better energy, that they're left standing there confused, frustrated, and fully aware they failed to impress or rattle her in any way. Number 5. Make sure your words carry as much weight as mine before you speak to me like that. Smooth as silk, but sharp as a dagger. This line places them firmly in their place with elegant precision. She doesn't yell. She doesn't argue. She doesn't overreact. Her unshakable confidence does all the work for her. She reminds them clearly. Their words, their opinions, and their attitude hold nowhere near the value, depth, or integrity of hers that they've overstepped their bounds, spoken out of turn, and acted as if they're on her level, and she gently but firmly corrects that delusion. This response plants powerful seeds of self-doubt. It forces them to question their own bravado, their own knowledge, and their own shallow perspective. In one calm sentence, she shifts the entire power dynamic, reminding them they are nowhere near her league. Number 6. When you're ready to speak respectfully, you'll have my attention. This is pure boundary mastery. Direct, unmistakable, and final. She lays down her terms without hesitation. Disrespect will never earn her time, her energy, or her engagement. There's no anger here, no bitterness, no petty retaliation. Only quiet strength and unwavering self-respect. She refuses to lower her standards to match other people's immaturity and negativity. She doesn't chase people to treat her better. She simply withholds her presence until they do. Respect is not optional for her. It's the only currency she accepts in any interaction. This line forces people to choose. Either elevate their energy, mature their tone, and meet her standard, or lose her entirely. In a world obsessed with tit-for-tat drama, she raises the bar and forces everyone around her to rise or fall away. Number 7. Interesting opinion. I'll forget it in a second. This quiet response lands like a silent bomb. No drama. No argument, no emotional reaction, just dry, calm, humorous dismissal. She treats their disrespectful comment like trivial background noise, something so insignificant it won't even occupy space in her mind. The power here is subtle but devastating. She doesn't waste breath defending herself. She doesn't give them the satisfaction of a reaction. She simply lets them know, your words don't hurt me, don't rattle me, and don't matter to me. In fact, they're so irrelevant, she'll erase them from her memory instantly. This dismissive calm undermines their entire attempt to provoke her. It makes their petty jabs look silly, small, and completely pointless. Number 8. That's a bold statement from someone with so little insight. This line exposes ignorance masterfully, without aggression or overreaction. She doesn't directly call them wrong. She simply points out the obvious. Their perspective is shallow, limited, and uninformed. That it's a subtle, slick way of saying, you're speaking out of turn, you don't fully understand the situation, and your judgment lacks depth. This forces them to step back and question their own words, their own confidence, and their own overestimated knowledge. With one calm sentence, she reverses disrespect entirely. They came to critique her, but end up exposed as shallow and unqualified to engage with her. Her quiet clarity and depth stand in stark contrast to their empty words, and everyone can feel it. Number 9. You'll have to try harder if you want to provoke a reaction. This response shuts down petty mind games effortlessly. She makes it clear. Her emotions, her peace, and her energy are not entertainment for other people's egos. Their cheap attempts to get under her skin barely register. They're not creative enough, not sharp enough, and not meaningful enough to rattle her. That there's subtle humor here. She's basically watching them try and fail miserably to get a rise out of her. She sees every game, every manipulation, every petty tactic, and she's completely unimpressed. This line strips them of their power. It reveals their attempts as small, desperate, and laughably ineffective. She doesn't give reactions to be nice. She gives reactions to things that actually matter, and their petty drama will never qualify. Number 10. I don't entertain people with no depth. This is the ultimate quiet shutdown. She doesn't waste time responding to their insult. She dismisses them entirely as a person lacking substance, maturity, and value. Her message is clear. I only engage with people who bring depth, integrity, and meaning to the table. You don't qualify. Calm, honest, and unflappable. This response can only come from someone with unbreakable self-worth. She's not angry, not flustered, not hurt. She's simply uninterested. They came hoping to rattle her, to make her react, to make her question herself. Instead, they leave feeling small, shallow, and unworthy of her time. This line doesn't just shut down disrespect. It elevates her entire energy, proving she only invests in quality people and quality conversations. Final thought: when a spicy Lady Sigma faces disrespect, she never fights fire with fire. She doesn't overreact, doesn't explain herself, doesn't beg for respect, and doesn't chase validation. Her power lives in her calm, calculated, unshakable responses. With quiet confidence, she shifts. The entire dynamic exposes petty games and makes one rule undeniable. Respect is the only way to treat her. In a world full of loud, reactive, dramatic people, she stays above the noise, in full control of her emotions, her boundaries, and her peace. That is the true power of a spicy Lady Sigma. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video. Bye for now and God bless.